DJ Lil create vibes now.
Welcome to another episode of the Get a Love Like Mine podcast. We are your humble hosts. I'm Keisha Amos. This is my beautiful husband, Sam Amos. This is season 2, episode 9. We're just moseying on along. So I want to recap a little bit because we finally got the punishment for the Will Smith situation. They said 10 years he won't be able to attend any Academy Award events. And I think the begin date is in April. So really it's 11 years. Because, the other one just happened in March. So he won't be able to attend an event until 2033. 2033. What do you think about that? You think the punishment fits the crime?
I don't know. It's hard for me to scale a punishment like that. I don't know how significant it plays in his own life.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, versus
I don't have to dress up and walk the red carpet of this award show for 10 years. He can still win if he does some work. He just can't go to the show. So I don't see it. Somebody will accept on his behalf. Maybe it'll be Jada. But anyway, speaking of Will and Jada, you think of all the turmoil they have had since Jada began doing Red Table Talk, because before then we didn't know anything about their marriage. All we knew was that they had been married for a long time. But since they have let us in, you have to look at them and think that they are all in. They, despite whatever is going on in either one of them's lives, they are locked in. I remember when Red Table Talk first began, they weren't referring to each other as married. They were like saying they were life partners and that their relationship really transcended being man and wife. Being husband and wife. So it was kind of like no matter what happens, we're going to be in this thing together. And so that's what we want to talk about today. We want to talk about being all in, what it looks like to be all in your relationship. And I'll let you do our little first topic.
Okay, so welcome back. And again, we spend a lot of time on relationship topics because I guess we just kind of enjoy it. And then we see a lot of relationships around us. A lot of people ask us relationship related questions. So one of the things, me, I'm always one to kind of focus on the men and things men can do or not do. One of the things that I feel I've noticed, and you and I have discussed, is that you need to, if you're all in, post your significant other with you on social media. If you're on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, a lot of times I look at some of my friends' Instagram pages or whatever, especially Facebook, because I just recently rejoined Facebook after about 10 or 12 years or so. It just didn't have a place in my life. So now I kind of reconnected and really got back in touch with a lot of high school, some of it was family, but a lot of it was high school classmates that were really excited to see me on there. And a lot of my high school classmates have pictures with their spouse, as well as I do. My profile picture on Facebook and Instagram have you in it. But I have friends there that they speak like I'm looking for that significant other, or why can't this person be? But I think they're more focused on what she is or isn't doing and they don't see that, well, I don't have not a single picture of her on my social media. Well, if you're on social media a lot and you're always on your phone and you see little things you want to post, I'm at this function, I'm at that function, and she may very well be there with you. She may be the one holding the camera and not know that's what you're going to do with the picture. But even worse, she may know that's what you're going to do with the picture. And you're standing there all alone, smiling, cheesing, and posing. Well, it would make her feel so much better, so much more. There's a closeness, a togetherness. If you will display to the world, which is social media now, you with that other person in this picture. But as long as you continue to so-called leave her out, ignore that part, like that part of your life is not as public as me standing next to this Martin Luther King monument, then it's not going to help your relationship grow, because you're kind of holding back, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is a form of holding back and not showing that you're all in. You're not all in. If you post on social, now there are some people who don't post anything. Like, I think you specifically haven't posted on Instagram since 2020. Like, I don't even know why you have an Instagram page.
I kind of forgot how. Even if I see stuff I want to post, I forgot what to do to put it on there.
Right. So some people just don't post. But if you're one who is active on social media, you can't use the my life is private excuse. You can't use that as an excuse to say I'm not going to post my significant other because I don't want everybody in my business. But you posting what you had for breakfast this morning. You posting yourself in front of the Martin Luther King statue, showing that you went to D.C. or
on vacation, right?
Yeah, I'm in the Bahamas, and like you said, she's holding the camera, so she's not in the picture. But it's clear you're not there by yourself, and this is not a selfie. Your arm is not extended holding the picture. It's clear whoever is holding the picture was far away. But that is a form of holding back, and it does make a woman feel more secure in your relationship when you don't have a problem posting her, or I'm not saying you got to post her every week, but I see people who I know they're in a relationship and her birthday will come and he won't even do a birthday tribute. But then somebody that they just happen to know, they'll put that in the story. Happy birthday, little sis, or happy birthday, boss lady, or just something that you acknowledge their birthday on social media, but your significant other you don't. I find that odd. I find that to be you holding back, or for whatever reason. I won't speculate on the reason, but I think someone posting you, you can't help but feel a way, feel happy to see that he's acknowledging you, or and not keeping you a secret or hiding you. He wants the world to know that he's with you. I think it can make you feel very secure. This past week, or maybe it's been the last 2 weeks, I've been seeing a lot of back and forth about Russell Wilson and Sierra. So I just want to bring that into this all-in discussion, because he's an athlete. He's got some sort of podcast. I don't know his name. I don't even know him as an athlete, but he's got a podcast, and he basically called Russell a square, corny, I think is what he called him, and said that if Sierra dated Future and 50 Cent and Trey Songz, which I didn't even know she dated Trey Songz, but if she dated people like this, of this caliber, how could she possibly be attracted to somebody as corny as Russell Wilson? And my thing is,
wow,
if you dated Future, who has about 8 baby mamas, and you dated 50 Cent, who is arguably the most toxic man out. Like he everybody know he toxic. Like,
well, I think he prides himself on his toxicness.
Yeah. So if you date people like this, and then you do a 180 and want to date somebody on the opposite side, who makes you feel secure, who posts you on their social media, who had enough respect for you to wait to be intimate with you until he married you, to uphold you and help you grow as a person and as a Christian, I don't see how that's corny. Plus, Russell Wilson is gorgeous. Like, how could you look at him and think he's corny? He's a handsome guy. He's a star quarterback. He's rich. What is wrong with Russell? Like, I don't see anything wrong with him. And then Plies, of all people, an unlikely ally, said Russell, like, mind his own business. Like, he the least problematic guy out there. Like, salute to dude, because he's not messy. Like, do you realize the type of things he could have said about Future all this time? Like, the fact that he's raising Future's son, he could have talked about him several times, and he never has. He's a class act. But back to the topic at hand, he shows her that he's all in. And I believe he was on Kevin Hart's I think it's the satellite radio show, whatever it was. I know it was all Kevin Hart's boys up there, and they asked him what was the line he used to get Sierra, and he talked about being consistent. That he told her that, you know, that was what she was going to get with him, was consistency. And that means the world in a relationship, because I know a lot of women, me included, who had to question whether my guy really loved me or not. Had to question where I stood. Do I come before his mom? Do I come before his baby mama? Do I come before his ex-wife? Like, where do I stand in your life? And Russell said consistency was something he told Sierra in the beginning that he was going to offer her. And I think he's done that. You don't see them, you know, on the red table talk talking about this scandal and that scandal and August Alsina and, you know, all
entanglement.
Yeah, they don't have any entanglements. So I can appreciate him showing her that he's all in, and I definitely believe that Sierra loves that about him. And I love that about you. I appreciate you showcasing me on your social media.
You're welcome. But to your point about the comments about Russell Wilson, that to me is just one man's opinion. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But if you date this group of guys and this is what you marry, and really these guys didn't have what it took to hook you to get married, but maybe corny is what she likes. Now, I'm not going to talk down on corny, because corny is what hooked her, right? And so I've been categorized as square or probably corny too, but that don't bother me. I mean, I don't have any problems with that, because I have a beautiful wife and I love my life. What's there to look down on corny? If I'm corny, I'm just corny. Next.
One thing I like about Russell and Sierra is that it's clear they spend a lot of time together. Like, even though she's a singer, I'm not going to say she's put her career on the back burner, because she's still out there. But you see them together all the time, spending time. You know, when he has a game, wherever, even, you know, now that he's been traded to, he's with the Broncos now, he's been traded to Denver. they had a family portrait with all of them in their orange and blue. I love to see it. She's very supportive of his career, and he's supportive of hers as well. But you always see them together, spending time. Now, even if you see, which I follow Sierra on social media, you see her spending a lot of time, her, Lala Anthony, and Vanessa Bryant. The three of them have, been a lot closer since Kobe died. But even even when they have like these little family trips where it's them three and their kids, Russell is there too. So I'm saying this to kind of introduce the next topic, which is spending time with your mate, showing them that you're all in, as opposed to I'm taking a girls trip with just my girls, or me and my guys are going on a trip just us, you can't go. So what do you think about that?
Well, if for starters, let's make it clear that when we discuss being all in and not posting your significant other on social media, we're speaking to people that are ready to be in a serious relationship. Marriage, however you want to clarify. You may not be all the way ready for marriage yet, but you're at least going in that direction, meaning I'm going to get rid of going out and getting phone numbers and meeting new people. So this spending time, there shouldn't be a part of your life where the guy, I'm going on a trip with the guys, or when she is planning a girls trip, you're like, boy, she's leaving on April. I cannot wait until she's gone. Those feelings should not come over you. And when they do, that's a sign of, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that serious relationship yet. If I'm looking forward to her leaving, I'm looking forward to me leaving without you, so I can get away from you. I leave work and I take the long way home. I stop at Walmart and walk the aisles to see if
magazines and whatnot.
I walk the aisles to see if I need something. I may look at I forgot I need some toothpaste or something. If you're that person, and like, we laugh at it, it's a joke, it's funny, but that's normal for someone they may be in a better relationship. You may be just flat out tired of arguing. This other person may bring that argumentative spirit into the realm of our relationship, or like, we just can't seem to click unless, the only time we click is when we're in the bed sleeping. You facing that way, I'm facing this way. That's when we get along great. So that spending time is huge. So hopefully, if this is who you want to be with, that you guys can take those trips together, because especially road trips are great because it's just the two of y'all and we're going to a destination. Like, unless the passenger just thumbing through the phone and you got some headphones on, it's a great time for y'all to just discuss things, just talk and get to learn them and see how they think about certain things that everyday life may not, those discussions may not arise, because just like you and I, we're married, but our schedules are so crazy, there's no telling how long you'll work, right? You come home at a different time. I get off work every day at a different time. I go in at the same time, but there's no telling when I'm going to get off, and a lot of times I go to sleep when I'm waking up, you're going to sleep, so some things you may not get a chance to spend time doing during the week, as opposed to something like a road trip.
Right. But I'm one of those, when I was younger, I believe I was probably in my early 30s the last time I went on a girls, well, let me take that back. There was one additional girls trip since I've been married, but that was with your sisters, so I don't really count that as a girls trip.
Even though it was girls,
it was girls, but it was your sisters, my sister-in-laws. It was my sister-in-law's birthday, and I had a great time. But that time really solidified what I already knew from that trip I went on in my early 30s, where I decided I don't ever want to go on a girls trip again. Girls trips are fine when you're single. Great. But when you are in a relationship and you're all in, you know you're gonna miss your significant other when you're gone. Like, especially if y'all are used to spending time together, talking on the phone every day, all day, when you're not together. And then you go on this girls trip, you're not gonna have a good time if the whole time everybody else is in the pool or on the beach and you're sitting there on the phone. I miss you. I wish you were here, blah, blah, blah. So me, now, I don't want to go on a girls trip unless it's a couples trip, you know. And even on the couples trip, we're not about to split off into the girls go over here and the guys go over there. No. We came together, we ride together. So it's going to be a couple. Even if I got to hang with all the fellas, I'm going to be with my fella. All the rest of you ladies, you know, y'all can go wherever y'all going, but I'm going to be with my guy. I enjoy his company. He's my best friend. So girls trips, and more than anything, when it's time to go to bed at night, I need my pillow there with me. Like, you know, when a lot of you guys have heard me say, when I went to take the bar exam, it was in another part of Texas, 2 or 3 hours away. I had to have him take off work and come with me so I could sleep. I got a class coming up pretty soon at the end of this month, about 4 hours away. I already told him, you're going to have to take off work so you can go with me. This is a business trip, but I need my support system there. I don't like traveling without him. So, of course, we're going to use that time as a quick getaway to get away from the kids and have some alone time. But, you know, I think spending time together during important moments really shows that you're all into your relationship. If you're constantly, like you saying, going on girls trips and guys trips and you're waiting on him to leave to go on his trip, oh yeah, he gonna be gone, or you know, things of that nature, it just shows you're not all in. But a lot of times in those instances, it might be just an outside influence that's got you thinking this is what you have to do. You know, your guys are telling you, oh, you whipped. You done changed. All you want to do is be up under her all the time. You know, you used to want to, you know, hang with the fellas, and now all you want to do is be up under her. And then you're trying to prove to them that you're not whipped and you're not, you know, all in. And, you know, you and I, we always talk about the garden, what it looks like. Well, you need to be worried about what it looks like to your mate, not to the outside people. I think that outside influence is the monster.
See, when you get to be older, like me, and people make those comments, they don't bother you nearly as much as when I could think back when I was probably in my 20s and 30s, where outside comments may have festered in my head for a while. But I mean, they don't do anything now because I can ignore anything. So if I heard someone say, well, you know, you're this, you're that because of your wife now, and you weren't like this, whatever. You used to want to hang with the fellas. Well, yeah, I did, and I may have gone or outgrown that at this stage of my life, but she can do things that y'all can't do. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
Next. So, yes, I'm probably not the guy you want to bring those comments to, because nothing really bothers me, especially not foolishness like that. But, you know, if you go through that, like you said, you have to be aware. It's huge of what's around you. You may have a friend or maybe even a family member that you've been around for years, 20 years plus. And in that 20 years, you never really totally agreed with yourself that this person is toxic. You may have looked at some situations with a question mark over your head and be like, I wonder if, you probably were right and didn't want to admit it to yourself, but you'd be surprised how many people you've known for years are just completely toxic to your life. Like, they may not just come right out with a shirt that says toxic across the front and wrap their arm around you, but, you have to be aware of the outside influence, the strain that it will put on the two of y'all just from one person coming in and making comments, inviting you to stuff. You, not y'all, just that one person. Come go with me to this bachelor, you know what I'm saying? This bachelor party is at Harlem Nights. And knowing that your significant other, some women don't have a problem with you going to strip clubs with the fellas. It's big thing, no big thing. Oh, you can't touch the women, but you can throw all your money on the stage. So, but it may not be a good look for y'all's relationship. You may get back home and wonder why when y'all eating cereal in the morning, you're the only one talking. So, I mean, if you know that about your significant other, you may have felt a certain way about it, but you didn't guard what it looks like. So you guarded what it looks like to the person that invited you. You don't want this guy to think, oh, I done got soft, I can't do what I want to do. You can do what you want to do, but just keep in mind, hey, you got to prioritize what's more important here. Me building something with you, or me convincing this one guy that I can still do what I want to do. So
I've been seeing this meme lately that says, that talks about trying to control your significant other, and it says, don't try to control them, let them do what they want to do so you can see where their priorities lie. Because if you're trying to stop them from going to the strip club and they fighting you every step of the way, maybe you need to let them go so you can know that the strip club means more to them than you do. But I wanted to speak on what you were saying about that topic about the outside influence. I think the pivotal change in our relationship, you and I, is where I stopped listening to the outside influence and just started listening to myself. I was, I'm not going to say in a clique, but I had friends and family who, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I went out a lot. Like, I would go to parties, college parties, clubs, whatever. I hung out a lot. I'm talking at least 3 days a week I was out. Out late, up early, trying to get to work, whatever. But as I got to my late 20s, early 30s, I did not enjoy that scene as much as I once did. I still did it because that was, kind of the nature of my friendships. We would hang out on the weekends or during the week or whatever. Tuesday night, ladies night, Thursday night, whatever night, Friday night, happy hour, Saturday night, whatever. It was just the nature of our friendship. We would hang out. Well, when I got to be, especially early 30s, I didn't like drinking anymore. Drinking literally would make me ache. But I had this I don't want to say they pressured me, but I had this feeling like I couldn't show them that I didn't want to hang out anymore because they were going to think I didn't want to hang out because you didn't want me to hang out. And that wasn't the case. I just didn't want to do it anymore. But I was so busy worrying about them bragging on me to say, oh, you letting him control you. You need to check him. He can't tell you what to do. Blah blah blah. Sure enough, you might have not liked me hanging out, but I didn't like it either. I only was doing it for them.
You was guarding the looks like
for them.
Right.
And so once I made the decision that, you know what, I don't care. I don't care whether I'm with him or not. I don't want to go out. I don't want to. I don't like having to wear heels. I don't like having to get dressed up, all the time. I got to put on a corset and, tighten everything up. I can't hardly breathe. I don't want to drink. I'm not going to dance in the club because my body, I'm aching now. I'm not as young as I used to be. I can't drop it like it's hot no more. So it's not fun to me anymore. So once I stopped going out, our relationship changed. Not because I was succumbing to your control or anything like that. It's just that you and I spent more time together. It was no arguing over, oh, you went here without me or blah, blah, blah. Or this person invited you to the strip club and you went and you left me or whatever. It was no more of that. So I think once I, like I said, got a little older, mid-30s, upper 30s, it was more so, look, I don't want to do that no more. So y'all can say whatever you want. Like you say, people can call you corny. You can say whatever you want to say. But I'm over here chilling, happy with my handsome husband. So, that's it for the outside influence. So this week, I think, is that it? Is that all you want to say about
let me just add this one little piece in.
Okay.
This one little small piece. And when you get ready to go out, don't leave your soul. When you put on your final, your jewelry and your shoes and button your shirt down and your cell phone is on 15%. Okay, I'm ready to go now. And then the next morning, I didn't get none of your messages or calls because
my phone was dead.
My phone went dead. I didn't charge it while I was getting ready. See, that's a dead giveaway right there.
Alright, so for Ask the Amoses this week, this was something I saw on social media and figured we could address it. So it's addressed to married couples. It says, is it okay to have a gathering at your house when your spouse is out of town and invite guests of the opposite sex that your spouse doesn't know and you didn't inform or ask them prior to? So what do you think about that? Having a little kickback at the house when I done went out of town on the girls' trip.
I can only speak for my house. I mean, some folks, they may find that there's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of crazy that someone would even think enough of it to ask.
It almost seemed like it definitely happened to them.
Right.
Which is why they went on to add, I didn't read this part, but it also says it's guys and girls, everyone's drinking till the wee hours of the morning. So they added that part. So it's almost like it actually happened to them. And they just want to know, did they overreact?
or they're struggling with understanding why you overreacted and was swinging that lamp at me.
That too.
We would never. I would never do that. We don't do that here. I mean, that to me, just listening to those few little lines, so many red flags. Like, I don't even think we would go to a gathering while the other one's out of town with that type of behavior, let alone host it at my house. Like, why did you wait until I was leaving before you planned it all? And that thing, that's got a whole lot of red tape wrapped around it. But no, that's not gonna. If you're trying to cause some problems between us, you just succeeded. That's pretty bad right there. I mean, you're inviting strangers into my house that you don't know. If they're strangers to you, you don't know. These could be straight up thieves. Mm-hmm. They could go and go to the bathroom, go to the restroom, and go to a bedroom and unlock a window and come back later on and come right through that window and clean you out, get all the flat screen TVs, all of them, every one of them. But, and then, how do I explain that to you? Where are all the TVs? Huh? Which ones? The ones that was mounted on the wall. Oh, I didn't even know they were missing. Well, looks like somebody came through this back window back here because it's still open.
Mm-hmm.
Bad. I mean, it's kind of a goofy question. You want to call Russell Wilson corny or whatever? That person there is pretty corny. I don't think you should have done that.
Yeah, that is a definite no. I'm only going to bring this up only because it has happened now, but it's a different situation. Like your dad, every now and then his wife will go out of town, and he may have us over, like his children and their spouses. I'm not gonna say their wives because you're the only one who has a wife, but so he may have his kids over, but it's not like we only go when she's not there. We go when she's there as well. So it's a little different, but I know that there have been times that she had a problem with him having people over when she wasn't there. I think if I went out of town and you had your kids over, like what could I possibly be mad about?
Especially if I'm here alone, like my dad is. Like my dad's there alone, and of course he enjoys the company of his kids,
right?
Whether she's there or not. But that situation,
let me reference this situation because it's a whole lot different. Right. You have strangers and other couples, like you're having a couple party, and where's your couple? Where's your significant other? Now, me as a woman, if you invited me to one of your friends' houses and their wife wasn't there, and it's me and you and some other of your friends or coworkers or whoever and their significant other, but the host himself, I'm going to say, where's your wife? Oh, she gone out of town. I'm going to feel out of place in her house when she's not there. Only because I'm always putting myself in other people's shoes. And I hope if you ever have some other woman in this house that she feels out of place, like, why am I here and your wife is not here? That situation is just, it's almost unrealistic.
That's a bad question. It really is. That's a bad question to ask. Is this wrong?
Yeah. Like, who's going to say it's right?
Like, are you that far out of touch with what you need to be trying to do to convince this person that who you are is who you are, or is this who you are?
If your guy thinks that's okay, let me drink a little.
You're gonna be at the red table in just a minute. Yeah.
You're about to be at the red table talk.
Cause see, that's an entanglement environment.
For sure, that is definitely an environment that shows you he is not all in. And I'm not saying men don't do stupid things, women do too. And sometimes they will try to justify things they do, which just sounds like that's probably what happened here, that her dude did something like this and I don't see nothing wrong with it. And is trying to justify why he did what he did. But there's nothing right about that situation. Like, if you can almost smell the entanglement in there. Somebody brought him a little piece too. I just refuse to believe it's all couples in here and he's the only single person. Somebody brought a friend for him while you was gone. That's just how my mind's think. My husband say I don't believe anything anybody says anymore. I'm skeptical of everything. You guys know I'm an attorney. When my clients come in and tell me a story, I'm already looking for the holes in it. I don't believe what you're saying. I don't even believe my clients. I just feel like everybody has an agenda. But anyway, we hope you enjoyed this. We pray that you guys, if you're in relationships, that you are showing each other that you are all in. We prayed for Russell and Cece and their family. Pray that they have a good time when Russell goes to Denver. Praying that, I don't think I've ever been a Denver Broncos fan, but I'll probably be watching their games this season. But anyway, we pray that you guys have a great week and happy Sunday.